Happy Friday, everybody. This is Chief Meteorologist Brad Panders with your Ski Southeast forecast and update for the weekend. Kind of an interesting weekend. We're starting on a mild note, which in December we probably would be cursing right now, but we've had such a good stretch of cold weather. Snowmaking has really laid down some good bases. So the bad news, it's going to be warm for Friday and probably most of Saturday, but starting Saturday night to Sunday, we're right back to a really active pattern and a very interesting pattern, I should say, as we go into the weekend. We've got one area of low pressure down the Gulf of Mexico that's moving through on Friday afternoon. That's got some rain and snow in the mountains. It's going to be kind of a mix. I think it'll mainly be a rain-snow mix in North Carolina, but the Virginia resorts up into Wisp could be a little bit of snow in there. It's not the perfect setup. It's going to be a wet snow or very cold rain for a lot of locations. I'll show you how this unfolds. And you can see there could be a little bit of snow, especially as this thing first approaches at the highest elevations. But then it gets cold behind that system, and we see snow, just a little bit of northwest flow snow on Saturday. But here's a second wave that comes in the northern branch of the jet stream, and you see that little burst of snow and that another burst of snow coming in Sunday night. So there's a chance we could pick up some decent natural snow, not a ton, but you could see it start to develop on Saturday with that little burst there. But then watch what happens on Sunday as this next surge of moisture comes in. So I wouldn't call this a huge amount of snow, but a decent amount, 1 to 3 inches, maybe an isolated 4 or 5 inch amount up towards Snowshoe, maybe towards Kanawha Valley, and then up towards Wisp, certainly some heavier amounts. Cold temperatures, not really cold to start the weekend. The Arctic air is going to make a big-time return starting late Saturday night and really Sunday into Monday and Tuesday. And as we go into early next week, the cold air is really going to set up shop. We're getting a good surge of cold air starting Sunday night into Monday and Tuesday, and that cold air is going to be sticking around for most of next week. So really another great week of snowmaking opportunities. And I think there's at least 2 chances that we could see in this pattern a storm develop. There's not one yet, honestly, but the pattern is very interesting, and especially late next week, and I'm going to show you how this unfolds. You see the cold air kind of locked in place. Look at this wave that forms back to the west. This low is really interesting. There's cold enough air here in the southeast that this low could crank up, and it has some upper connection that this would all be snow here next weekend. This is the most active southern branch piece of energy we've had come through with the cold air in place, and it's certainly something I'll keep an eye on. So let's look at the models. This is the European model, and again, I think that this is probably underdoing the snowfall this weekend, but watch what happens next week. That next wave comes in on Thursday into Friday, and then going into next weekend, it looks like another surge of moisture. So I wouldn't focus so much on the amounts because the models aren't going to do a good job in the long range. You're really kind of looking for the pattern, the setup. Both the GFS and the European show pretty significant setup for some wet weather going into next weekend. And when I mean by wet weather, I mean wet and cold weather, which means snow, especially after Thursday. This only goes out to Thursday, but that Friday time frame into next weekend is actually looking pretty prime. So good news for the holiday weekend. It's going to start a little warm as we go into Friday and Saturday, but Sunday and Monday for Martin Luther King Day, looking at great conditions in the southeast. There will be natural snow, and it'll be cold enough for snowmaking. And then all next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, even into Saturday, cold enough for snowmaking. And Wednesday, and especially on Saturday next week, 2 potential added natural snowstorms. So it's going to be the best week that we've seen cold-wise and even natural snow-wise. We've had some good patterns with cold. This is the first time we've had the cold and the storm track in place. So get a little excited. It's not the perfect setup, but it's looking good again. And the good news is we got a little warm-up, and it's only a 2-day warm-up, and we're right back to the cold conditions. Big ski weekend ahead, 3-day weekend for a lot of us going up to the ski slopes. They hit them this weekend. If you're going, please be safe. Make sure you're careful. The crowds, I think, will be pretty good because the snow is now finally there, and the ski resorts are wide open. So enjoy your holiday weekend, and as always, think snow. We'll give you another update coming up on Sunday night.